Hey, Pastor Scott here with the weekly word for you this Wednesday. I love my Topo Chico. I had an interesting time the other day. I got out of bed on Saturday morning, and all of a sudden I had this excruciating pain in my back. I was reminded on one hand that I'm getting older, but when you hurt your back while sleeping, it's just never a good moment for you. At least I could have been like running a marathon or something. But it made me start thinking about our life in Jesus. And today we're going to be talking about the heart. I'm going to read a passage to you from Proverbs, and then later on look at a different version of it. But Proverbs 4:23 says this: "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." You know, when I woke up the other day and then I was just, stretching and doing some different things, it made me realize that there's times in our lives when our heart gets wounded or hurt, and we can see it coming. We see why or where or how that happened, and we have understanding. And then there's sometimes when we hurt ourselves, we make boneheaded decisions. We make ignorant decisions. We make pain-filled decisions. We do that. And none of us are perfect in this journey in life, and so those times are going to come. And then sometimes the pain in your heart comes right out of the blue. It comes while you're sleeping, like my back pain did the other day. And no matter what it is that hurts your heart or affects your heart, Jesus is very clear. Your heart's the key part of your life. It's the key part of the Father's creation of you. And so Jesus very clearly has Solomon right there. Above all else, guard your heart, for it determines the course of your life. Your life comes from it. It's the wellspring of life. And so there's lots of different things that can happen. And the enemy is always looking for this opportunity to try to destroy your life. He's going to try to affect your identity. That's why shame is such a big scheme of the enemy. He's going to try to make you live in bitterness or anger or unforgiveness, and so to hold on to those things done to you and then be mad about it or grow bitter about it or just live unforgiving because they don't deserve it. Maybe it's a rejection issue, and people are always rejecting me. I'm going to reject them first, and so there's this vicious cycle that starts. Maybe it's a fear issue. A lot of fear going on the past year of our lives. A lot of fear mongering, a lot of fear opportunities, a lot of real stuff that we can let own us instead of Jesus when it comes to fear. And so fear is always trying to make you believe that you have to take care of yourself and your life is only secure in what you can do. And the enemy tries to attack us in not having our life securely found in Jesus. And so Jesus tells us, above all else, guard your heart. Get rid of all the stuff in there that is not of Him, and then guard it. Be diligent, be vigilant in it. The Message version tells us that same passage in an amazing phrase. Listen to what it says. The Message says, "Keep vigilant watch over your heart. That's where life starts." Everything that flows from us starts from the heart. And so often we're like, okay, but I've got all these wounds, I've got all these hurts, I've got these new things, I've got these old things. How do I get rid of all the junk to then have a heart that's worth guarding? That's the journey. That's where you have the gospel, this right here. You open it and you begin to read it and apply it to your life. That's where you have good people who love Jesus and find their lives based out of this gospel message that pour into your life. That's where you deal with unforgiveness, you deal with bitterness, you deal with fear, you deal with rejection, you deal with those things that attack your heart, and you walk out of that stuff and then into the truth of who you are, so that your heart really is a treasure worth guarding. I told this story a long time ago, and I'm still reminded of it today. I used to have this old shack in my backyard. It was a shed that looked like a shack, and it wasn't that great. It had a great door on it, but nothing else was really great about it. And somebody's asking me a question. Well, I don't really care enough about my heart. It's just full of so much mess. I'm like, that's why we make sure we get rid of all the junk and then fill it with all the good stuff. And I said, if I had that shed in my backyard, I was showing this person, and it was filled with gold, man, I would secure that thing. I would fortify that thing. I'd probably have lights aimed at it and maybe guns aimed at it if somebody was trying to steal from it. I would take care of that shed in the greatest way possible if it was filled with bars of gold. But if that shed was filled with nasty old dirt and bugs and sticks, I'd probably open the door and be like, do whatever you want with it. I wouldn't care about it. So get the junk out of your heart and then fill it with the good things of the Lord. And then you'll want to guard your heart with diligence and being vigilant, and above all else, taking care of it, because that is where your life starts. Everything that is you will flow from that. So let Jesus have it and set you free and remain free.